Imagine you have one final meal to enjoy. What would it be? Now think of the most bizarre meal you could possibly request. Got it? Welcome to the world of the strangest last meal requests on death row. This is where culinary preferences meet the macabre, a tradition as old as the death penalty itself. We've ordered these peculiar gastronomic choices in a countdown, starting from the odd and escalating to the truly bizarre. Join us on this peculiar culinary journey as we count down from the least strange to the most outlandish last meal requests. Starting off with number 10 on our list, we have a man who requested a single unpitted olive. A peculiar request, isn't it? You might wonder why an olive. Well, the story goes that this man believed an olive tree would sprout from him in the afterlife. A symbol of peace in his wake. Bizarre, yet intriguing. Moving on to number 9, we find ourselves faced with a request for a simple pizza. On first glance, it doesn't seem strange, right? But consider this. The man specifically asked for a medium-sized pizza, no larger, no smaller. He was determined to savor each bite, taking his time with what he knew would be his final meal. At number 8, we encounter a request that's both nostalgic and a little heartbreaking. A man asked for a bucket of fried chicken, reminiscent of the Sunday family dinners of his childhood. In his last hours, he sought comfort in the familiar, a memory of happier times. As we delve deeper into these requests, we cannot help but wonder about the stories they tell. They offer a glimpse into the lives and minds of these individuals, their choices presenting a narrative of their final moments. As we move up the list, the requests become increasingly more peculiar. But remember, each request carries a story, a final testament of their lives. So let's continue our journey into the strange, the bizarre, and the utterly fascinating world of last meal requests on death row. We're now at the halfway point, and the meals are getting stranger. Can you guess what's next? Let's delve into the peculiar world of last meal requests, where the condemned express their last wishes through their choice of food. One such example is a man who, despite it not being his birthday, requested a birthday cake. Yes, you heard it right, a birthday cake. It might sound odd, but it's a poignant reminder of the humanity behind the crimes. Perhaps he was trying to recapture a moment of joy or innocence, or maybe it was his way of marking his own personal end of days. Then there was the inmate who asked for a lobster tail with steak, a surf and turf meal that most people would consider a luxury. However, for him, it wasn't just about indulgence. This seemingly extravagant request could have been more about asserting a sense of control or dignity in his final moments, something he might have felt he lacked throughout his trial and incarceration. It's intriguing to think about the psychology behind these choices. For some, their last meal might be a way to reminisce about happier times, to taste a memory that brings comfort or even a sense of normality. For others, it could be a final act of defiance, a way to assert their individuality one last time. And for a few, their choices might simply be a reflection of their personality, their tastes or their whims, however unusual they might be. We've seen last meals ranging from the mundane to the extravagant, the bizarre to the poignant. But remember, these are not just meals. They're the final culinary expressions of individuals who, for better or worse, have found themselves at the end of the line. The top 3 are still to come, and they're truly mind-boggling. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the most bizarre last meal requests in the history of death row. Brace yourselves, because these final requests are truly out of the ordinary. Let's dive straight into the top 3 strangest last meal requests on death row. First up, we have a request that's as simple as it is peculiar, a single strand of spaghetti. That's right, not a plateful, not even a mouthful, just one lonely strand of spaghetti. One can only wonder what profound meaning this strand of pasta held for the prisoner. Was it a symbol of the thread-thin connection he felt to the world? Or maybe it was a nod to a treasured childhood memory of a mother's home-cooked meal. We may never know for sure, but the gravity of this humble request is both unsettling and intriguing. Next in line is a request that's a stark contrast to the first, a whole roast pig. Now this isn't your typical Sunday roast. A whole pig is a banquet fit for a king, a feast of excess and indulgence. Perhaps this was an act of defiance, a last chance to live life to the fullest before the final curtain call. Or maybe it was a final ironic statement about gluttony and consumption. Whatever the case, it's a request that certainly leaves a lasting impression. Finally, we reach the strangest request of all, a dirt sandwich. Yes, you heard it right. A sandwich, the staple of quick lunches and picnics, filled not with ham, cheese, or even peanut butter, but with dirt. The symbolism is hard to ignore. Dirt, the very essence of the earth, the final resting place for all of us. Was this a way of embracing the inevitable, or was it a stark reminder of the harsh reality that awaited him? This request is arguably the most chilling of all, a stark reminder of the reality of death row. These are no ordinary meal requests. They are poignant symbols loaded with meaning and mystery. They tell us that even in the face of death, humans can still surprise us, can still express themselves in the most unexpected ways. These requests are a testament to the complexity of the human spirit, a reminder that behind each death row number, there is a story, a life, a person. With those requests, we've reached the end of our countdown, but what do these strange meals tell us? The last meals of death row inmates may seem strange, but they can provide fascinating insights into the human mind. Let's take another look at some of the requests we've discussed. There was the inmate who asked for a single olive with the pit still inside, the man who demanded a bucket of original recipe chicken from a popular fast food chain, and the individual who requested 24 steamed mussels and a mango. These requests might seem utterly bizarre, but could there be a deeper meaning to them? To answer this, we must delve into the realm of psychology. One possible explanation is nostalgia. The smell and taste of certain foods can trigger powerful memories, transporting us back to happier times. Perhaps the inmate who requested the bucket of chicken was recalling Sunday family dinners, or the individual who asked for steamed mussels was reminiscing about seaside vacations. Another theory is defiance. In the face of their impending execution, these inmates might use their last meal as a final act of rebellion. The request for a single olive could be seen as a contemptuous rejection of the system's offer of a final indulgence. And then there's the theory of simple cravings. Just like anyone else, death row inmates might have specific foods they enjoy more than others. The request for a mango, for example, might have been driven by nothing more than a love for the fruit. But there's more to these requests than meets the eye. Some psychologists believe that the last meal choices of inmates can offer a glimpse into their state of mind. For instance, those who choose comfort foods might be seeking solace, while those who opt for extravagant meals could be attempting to exert control in a situation where they have none. In some cases, the last meal choice might even reflect the inmate's feelings of guilt or innocence. Research has shown that those who maintain their innocence are more likely to refuse their last meal altogether. On the other hand, those who admit guilt are more likely to request hearty, indulgent meals. So next time you think about your ideal last meal, remember these bizarre requests and what they might reveal about our deepest desires and fears. Until next time, stay curious.